Hello students, this is Pallav Darbari, your host, and you are watching Pallav Darbari classes. In this video we will discuss the fourth chapter of macroeconomics, that is budget. This is the second volume of the chapter budget. Let us see the topic that we will discuss in this video. We will discuss the components of budget. In this video we will discuss budget expenditure, measure of budget deficit, and measure to correct budgetary deficit. Let us start the video with the meaning of budget expenditure. Budget expenditure refers to the estimated money expenditure by the government on various social, economic and political activities in the country during a particular financial year. So what is budget expenditure? It means estimated money expenditure by the government on social, economic and political activities. Budget expenditure can be classified on three bases. On the basis of asset and liability, there are two types of expenditure: revenue expenditure and the capital expenditure. Let us see the revenue expenditure first. It refers to the government expenditure which neither create any reduction in the government liability nor does not create any assets for the government. In a very simple word, we can say that revenue expenditure is that expenditure which neither increase the government expenditure nor decrease the government liability. Example is salary, pension, subsidies, interest payment, etc. In this diagram we can say red line indicates assets, so we can say that it neither increases the asset. Blue line represents liability, it neither decreases the liability. So any expenditure with neither boost up the assets or increase the assets nor decrease the liability is called revenue expenditure. Another type is capital expenditure. It is that type of government expenditure which either increases the assets of the government or decreases the liability of the government. Example, purchase of shares, it increases the government assets. Bonds, repayment of loan, etc. Here the red line indicates assets which increases the assets or decreases the liability. Any expenditure which either increases the assets or decreases the liability is called capital expenditure. On the basis of planned and non-planned activities, expenditure is of two types: planned expenditure and non-planned expenditure. Planned expenditure refers to that budgetary expenditure which is incurred by the government on the planned programs of the 5-year plan. For example, expenditure on economic sectors such as agriculture, health, etc. Let us see the non-planned expenditure. This refers to that budget expenditure which is not planned. This expenditure was expended on programs which are not included in the 5-year plan. For example, relief fund given to the rail accident victim, flood relief campaigns, etc. In a very simple word, we can say that any expenditure which is according to the recommendation of the Niti Aayog is called planned, which is not on the recommendation of Niti Aayog is called non-planned expenditure. On the basis of development and non-developmental activities, there are two types of expenditure. One is developmental expenditure. Let us see the developmental expenditure first. This refers to that budget expenditure which is incurred by the government on the economic growth and development activities. For example, expenditure on education, expenditure on infrastructure, hospitals, etc. These are developmental expenditure. On the contrary, any expenditure which is incurred on the non-developmental activities like expenditure on administration, expenditure on law and order, transfer payment, etc. So any expenditure which is not related with the developmental activities is called non-developmental expenditure. Let us see the types of the budget. There are three types of budget: deficit budget, balanced budget and surplus budget. The question is, what is deficit budget? It is that budget where the expenses are more and the revenue is less. Let us see the balanced budget. Balanced budget is that budget where expenses and the revenue both are equal. And the surplus budget is that where the expenses are less and the revenue is more. So we have seen the types of the budget. Here we will discuss the budgetary deficit. Budgetary deficit can be of four types: revenue deficit, fiscal deficit, primary deficit and monetized deficit. In our syllabus we only have the three types of the deficit, that is revenue, fiscal, primary. Monetized deficit not a syllabus, but obviously we should know it. It can be asked in MCQ. Let us see the revenue deficit first. It is the excess of government total revenue expenditure over revenue receipt during a fiscal year. Let us see the fiscal deficit. It refers to the financial situation where government's total expenditure exceeds its total receipt excluding borrowing. Let us see the primary deficit. It is the difference between the current year fiscal deficit and the interest paid on the borrowings of the previous year. Now let us see the monetized deficit. It is the extent to which RBI helps the central government in its borrowing program. The money borrowed by the central government from the RBI is called the monetized deficit. We will discuss every types of the deficit in detail. Firstly, we will discuss the revenue deficit. Let us see the meaning. It is the excess of government's total revenue expenditure over revenue receipts during a fiscal year. It can be represented as RD equal to RE minus RR. RE means revenue expenditure, RR means revenue receipt. Expenditure incurred by the government to meet out the daily activity is called revenue expenditure. Revenue receipt is tax and non-tax receipt. Let us see the implications of the revenue deficit. What will happen when the revenue deficit is there? Because of the revenue deficit, the government is deceiving. What is the meaning of government is deceiving? It means that the saving of one department will be used to meet out the losses of another department. Second implication is, in order to meet out the problems of revenue deficit, government will increase the taxes, because of which what will happen? The inflation will increase in the country. Next is longer revenue deficit. What it means? To meet out the revenue deficit, government borrow the money from the RBI, from the rest of the world. When the government borrow the money, the interest amount will increase. Because of increase in the interest payment, the revenue deficit will further increase to manifold. So because of revenue deficit, what will happen? Government borrow the money, and because of capital borrowing, the revenue deficit increases to manifold. Next is hindrance to social welfare. Because of revenue deficit, what will happen? The developmental activities will be stopped. Why? Because the government will borrow the money. The government expenditure is more and the government receipt is less, because of which what will happen? Government is not in the position to meet out the welfare activities. Because whatever the money the government is having, with that money it is difficult to meet out the daily activities. So the developmental or the social welfare activity is totally stopped. Next is fall in foreign investors. Since the government is not having the enough money, so the government is not in the position to spend the money on infrastructure development. Without the infrastructure development, the foreign investor will not come. One thing more, because of this saving, people will lose the faith in the government. Fine. The same thing happens. The foreign investors also start losing the faith. The next is commercial borrowings. Commercial banks raise the interest rate because of inflation. What will happen? Because of inflation, the commercial bank will raises the interest rate. So the bank loan becomes costlier. So these are the 6 implications which we see in the revenue deficit. Let us discuss all the implications in detail. The first implication is The revenue deficit implies that the government is deceiving and using up the saving of other department of the economy to finance as a part of its consumption expenditure. Next is the revenue deficit is met from the capital receipt either by the sale of government assets or borrowing from RBI. It reduces the government asset and increases the inflation in the country. The next is when the government is taking more and more money, the liability to pay interest increases, which finally makes the revenue deficit wider. Next is hindrance to social welfare. Hindrance to social welfare and poor are worst hit due to high revenue deficit. The next is foreign investors and institutions also lose faith on the economy. Next is the commercial bank raise the interest rate, which worsen the situation many more. The high interest rate and lack of investment leads to sluggishness in the economic activities. What is the solution? The solution is increase the revenue receipt and secondly decrease the revenue expenditure. This is the only solution. Let us see the fiscal deficit. It refers to the financial situation where government's total expenditure exceeds its total receipt excluding borrowing. Numerically, it can be described as budget expenditure minus budget receipt other than borrowings and liabilities. Remember one thing, it indicates the borrowing capacity of the government. It presents a more comprehensive view of budgetary imbalance. If we compare the revenue deficit and the fiscal deficit is a more comprehensive view of the budget imbalance. Why? Because of three reasons. First one is it considered each and every expenditure of the government which is not considered under the revenue receipt. That is why fiscal deficit mostly being considered, because in the case of the revenue deficit only the revenue expenditure is considered, not the capital expenditure. Here both the expenditure is considered, so each and every expenditure of the government is considered, so it gives a more clear picture. Next is both the long term and the short term expenditure are considered, which was totally absent in the case of revenue deficit. Third one is it is widely used tool to understand the budgetary development of the country. Let us see the implications. The first implication is inflation. Government mainly borrow the money from RBI. RBI in order to meet fiscal deficit RBI in order to meet fiscal deficit print new currency which increases the money supply and gives rise to inflation. So what will happen? Because of fiscal deficit, government borrow the money from RBI, because of which what will happen? The circular flow of money increases, because of which demand increase, supply is not there. As a result, inflation increases. More demand, less supply, inflation increases. Second implication is growth and development get stopped. With borrowings and repayment, the pace of growth falls down. Why? Because the earned money now will be used for the repayment of loan. So the growth and development will be stopped totally. Next implication is foreign dependence. When the country borrow the money from the foreign government start intervening in our affairs. Next is debt trap. This is a very important implications, can be asked separately in 3 marks. The major problems associated with the high fiscal deficit is that the country gets trapped in a circle of debt, in a debt trap. The question is how? Higher borrowing implies higher interest rate. When we borrow more money, what will happen? More and more interest we have to pay. Thereby, the revenue expenditure increases, yes or no? Yes. So with the rise in revenue expenditure, the fiscal deficit further increases. Because fiscal deficit means what? Total expenditure. When the revenue expenditure increase, definitely the fiscal deficit will also increase, which in turn necessitates further borrowings, because of which what will happen? More and more borrowing, the more and more money the country will take, so that this increased obligation should be met out. Thus, a vicious circle of debt follows. So in short, we can say the implication is debt trap of revenue deficit and the debt trap of fiscal deficit, both at the same time. Let us see what is primary deficit. Primary deficit is the fiscal deficit minus interest payment. Very important point. Fiscal deficit tells how much of the government's borrowing are going towards meeting expenses other than interest. It means how much borrowing the government will use for the payment of low expenditure, for the payment of to meet out the expenditure, not to meet out interest payment. Next important thing is zero primary deficit. This particular topic can be asked in MCQ, very common. The question is, what is zero primary deficit? It means that the government has to borrow the money to meet out interest payment. When the government borrow the money to meet out the interest payment, it is called zero primary deficit. It means money borrowed for the payment of interest. Let us see the measures to correct budgetary deficit. Very important. Can be asked in 5 marks, or can be asked in 4 marks, or can be asked in 6 marks. According to me, it can be asked in 3 marks, 3 or 4 marks. Let us see. The budgetary deficit can be corrected either by lowering the expenditure incurred by the government. The only solution is decrease the government's expenditure, or rise its expenditure, or raise its expenditure. I mean, the budgetary deficit can be solved either by decreasing the expenditure or increasing the receipt. Let us see one by one how. Let us see reducing the government expenditure. Listen, the government expenditure can be classified as development expenditure and non-developmental expenditure. So how many types of the expenditure, government expenditure we have? We have development expenditure and we have non-development expenditure. Earlier we have seen what is development and what is non-development expenditure. In developing countries like India, the government cannot cut down its development expenditure like expenditure on health, education, etc. because it is the foundation for the country and the foundation cannot be weak. So in the developing countries, the development expenditure cannot be decreased. But what we can do is, if somehow the private sector help the government, then the government's development expenditure can be reduced. The next is on the other hand, non-development expenditure can be reduced. We have seen that the development expenditure cannot be decreased, provided the private sector help the government. But non-developmental expenditure can be reduced to a great extent by the government to correct the budget deficit. So how we can rectify the budget deficit? Only by lowering the non-development expenditure. The second reason to rectify the budgetary deficit is increasing the government receipt. Listen, the government receipt can be classified as revenue receipt and the capital receipt. Revenue receipt includes tax receipt and the non-tax receipt. When we are talking about the tax receipt, it is the direct tax and the indirect tax. In a developing countries like India, direct taxes such as income tax have little scope of increment. Question is why? Because only fractions of the people pays income tax. So chances of increasing is very less, because less number of people is paying the direct tax. Although the indirect taxes such as sale tax, VAT have a wider scope but cannot be increased. Why? Because they are regressive in nature. They are regressive in nature. Hence, the indirect tax and the direct tax cannot be increased much in the developing countries. Further, if we try to increase the indirect taxes, it can increase the inflation, and which is not good for the betterment of the country. So most of the time the government avoid to increase the indirect taxes. Now let us see the capital receipt. We know that it has three components: recovery of loan, borrowings and disinvestment. Borrowings and disinvestment forms the two major sources of capital receipt, because in the developing countries recovery of loan is very little. Rarely being given. So borrowings and disinvestment forms two major sources of capital receipt. However, excess dependence on the borrowing implies higher debt burden and interest burden in the future. Hence the borrowings as a source of capital receipt must be avoided, because earlier we have seen debt trap. If the country will too much rely on the borrowing, then the country will fall in the debt trap. So the country mostly avoid the borrowings. Disinvestment can be used to correct budget deficit to some extent, as long as it is confined to the disinvestment of inefficient public enterprises running at a loss. If the government decided to go for disinvestment of the sick public enterprises. Let us discuss the important differences. We will discuss three differences. Firstly, we will discuss the difference between revenue expenditure and the capital expenditure. The difference can be asked in 3 marks. Let us see the difference. On the basis of base, let us see the first base meaning. Revenue expenditure neither increases the assets nor decreases the liability. So any expenditure which neither increases the assets nor decreases the liability is called revenue expenditure, and the expenditure which either increases the assets or decreases the liability is called capital expenditure. On the basis of the nature, we can say revenue expenditure is regular and capital expenditure is rare, non-regular. Finance, revenue expenditure is being financed out of revenue receipt, whereas capital expenditure is financed out of capital receipt. It can be asked in 3 marks, so these 3 points of difference can be given. Let us see the second difference between planned and non-planned expenditure. Meaning, any expenditure which is incurred as per the recommendation of Niti Aayog is called the planned expenditure, whereas any expenditure which is not incurred as per the recommendation of Niti Aayog is called non-planned expenditure. Nature, it is non-recurring, it is recurring in nature. Next is time period. Planned expenditure is being incurred for the longer period. Non-planned expenditure is for the shorter period. The next point of difference is difference between developmental and non-developmental expenditure. Meaning, development expenditure refers to that budget expenditure which is incurred by the government on economic growth and developmental activities. So any expenditure incurred for the economic growth and developmental activity is called developmental expenditure, whereas non-developmental expenditure is that which is incurred on the non-development activities. Scope, where we are incurring the developmental expenditure. For the growth and developmental purpose, we are incurring the developmental expenditure. And on defense and administration, the government is incurring non-development expenditures. Next is benefit, direct benefit. The government will get out of development expenditure. From the non-development expenditure, indirect benefit the government is getting. Listen here, the development expenditure on non-development expenditure, or it is also being called developmental and non-developmental. Both are the same thing. Let us see the next one. That is the fiscal deficit and the primary deficit, very important. On the basis of meaning, we can say fiscal deficit refers to the financial situation where the government's total expenditure exceeds its total receipt, excluding borrowing. Whereas primary deficit is the difference between the current year's fiscal deficit and the interest paid on the borrowings of the previous year. In short, we can say when we remove the interest from the fiscal deficit, it is called primary deficit. Indicator, what it indicates? Fiscal deficit shows the borrowing requirement of the government including the interest. Primary deficit means borrowing requirement of the government excluding interest. Government is borrowing the money to meet out the expenditure other than interest. Formula: FD is equal to total expenditure minus total receipt, or FD is always equal to borrowings. Whereas primary deficit means fiscal deficit minus interest payment. That's all I have in this video. Thanks for watching. God bless you all.